Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have one of your favorites, Zack Peter, from the hit podcast No Filter with Zack Peter, my friend. He is on it. He is doing so much for us all in his research and analogies and everything else. Well, let's get into it. As of now, we're recording this on Tuesday afternoon, and we heard from Savanah Guthrie this morning and saying that they're offering $1 million to anybody that can offer information that would lead to the return of her mother, whether she's well or in fact passed. And I don't know if that means leading to the person who did it or just getting her mom. It sounded like it was just to get to the mom.
Yeah, it sounds like she just wants the body back now. And
I mean, to me, it's very, very sad, but I also feel like this is a place where after 24 days, they're just kind of like, you know what? We want this to have some type of conclusion.
Yeah.
Even if we don't get the answer, this is saying we're going to probably get on with our lives a little bit. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I've covered this every day for the last 24 days.
Yes, you have.
And I was shocked that the family didn't offer anything sooner.
I agree. I was like, why wouldn't this have been like the first week? But
well, I mean, the first couple of days, all that was offered was $2,500.
That was from the
sheriff.
Sheriffs, yeah.
Right.
And then it was like, then I saw 50.
They upped it. Then the FBI came in. They upped it to 50, and then it got up to 100. And then people started crowdfunding themselves, and like they started to GoFundMe, and people were making like private donations, which was just looking even more bizarre for the family. So, I mean, I don't know where we even go with Nancy Guthrie at this point. I think I don't even know if they find her. This is another John Benet Ramsey.
I said that a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I think that this is going to be one of those things that's just sadly going to be one of those mysteries forever. I hope not, but I just have that feeling.
Yeah.
And we're going to look back on it and we go, remember that?
But how does that happen, Heather, in 2026, where everything is surveillance? We all have a GPS in our pocket. Like, there's cameras everywhere. This woman had a pacemaker that connected to Bluetooth, and suddenly this whole lady just disappeared, and we have no trace of her for 24 days. Like, that to me is the wildest thing. And I don't believe that this was a random kidnapping. You have Juicy Crimes, and you have...
So I have Juicy Crimes, and I just spoke to Matt Murphy about this, which will air in a couple days. So I'll say the preview. He believes his theory, is that she is gone and that it was something very deviant and they took the body to hide the evidence.
Yeah, I think...
And it was deviant. Like it wasn't... He said, you don't age out of essaying. So it doesn't mean that doesn't happen. It's just that's what that's his theory, which not a lot of people have said that theory as being someone that's prosecuted like heinous crimes. I don't know all the connections. I've talked about it as well. It's weird. It's strange. There's so many weird coincidences and strange things that you've talked about that I've said that at this point, I'm like, I'm really sad too, but as far as someone to report on it, like that's what's going to happen. We are going to stop reporting on it as well.
Well, also, but
because if there's nothing else that's out there, if no more information gets put out there in finding it, then we move on to something else.
I think something happened to her, and the kidnapping was a cover-up.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Which is basically what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't consider the essay part of it.
And I feel like she knows it from what she said.
I think she knows it. I think she's known it for a while.
And accepted it. But also by offering the $1 million, almost like even if we never hear from anybody.
Yeah, just the
I
body.
feel good knowing that I offered $1 million. I've accepted that, she's dancing in heaven with my dad.
Yeah.
And like she just, at this point, I think she wants to take care of her own mental health and wants to move on.
Yeah.
And you can't blame someone for wanting to do that. She's a mom. She has kids of her own. Like, eventually you have to. And it's been so public that it's like, she has to kind of put a little button on it.
Yeah, there has to be some closure. And I mean, I agree. Finally putting up the reward, I think, does kind of at least know that at this point she's done everything that they can. I thought it was really big of them to also donate the $500,000 to help, with abducted children and children that go missing. I thought that was also, really big on them, because that was like another big thing, another big piece of criticism that I think the public had was that, there are so many other cases where people and kids go missing and they don't get this level of attention and publicity.
Which again, it's very nice that she has to do that. But again, it's like the same type of thing in this world that we live. It's like, can I even have one moment, whether I'm celebrating something great, like, an Olympic win?
Yeah.
But you did this wrong, or I'm trying to find my mother and I have a right to be sad and grieving and freaking out. But why is it that because you're privileged, we know about your mother and not other people? And I'm part of this world. So it's like, I get it, where it's just like, but that is nice that they did that.
Yeah.
They covered all the bases and like.
I get it too. I think the part that for me, and I think I've, seen online of more of like the part that was more frustrating from the public was it's like, it was, to me, it was just very strange that we didn't see the family. Like, if you have these resources and this access, like, wouldn't you be turning over every stone? Wouldn't you be on the Today Show every single morning trying to keep your mother's face relevant and around and alive? Like, everything about the family's behavior to me was just very bizarre and strange, even with the reward now coming 24 days late, which I don't think will substantiate into anything. Unfortunately, I think the case has just run cold. I think the sheriff has completely butchered the case. Whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. I've always said he's either completely incompetent or he's compromised. And I just think there's going to be a lot of questions out there.
I mean, on the bright side, maybe it will. If it is some weirdo dude, that weirdo guy might have a mom, might have a sister, might have some friend who's
Heather,
like,
he's kept this lady for 24 days. I don't think he's going to have a come to Jesus moment.
No, I don't think that I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think she's on earth anymore.
No.
I'm saying, but somebody might know something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have more than I have a hunch.
Yeah.
The weirdo 2 streets down that's lived with his mother for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think he's a weirdo, and they could call and go, can you just check out that guy?
Yeah.
And if it turns out he is responsible or he confesses, then, hey, you get $1 million.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if you have a hunch, but you didn't want to be that mean person like they did with the poor Uber driver, then maybe maybe you could help out. So I think in that case, okay, let's move on to something else. Okay, so Whitney Rose of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City got to do a fun, boozy drag brunch, and the videos have gone all over, and she is definitely buzzed, if not more, and the women get to come up and ask questions, and this girl comes up and she's like, I just want to know, do you know what happened with the person? I mean, the woman asking the question drunk. And then Whitney's like, are you asking if I know what happened on the plane? Yes, I do. And Meredith is a fucking bitch. And she's a liar. And then the crowd's like, woo! And then so she's like, yeah. Like, this is her starting. I hate her more than I hate Lisa Barlow. And the reason I didn't talk about it is because they have bigger lawyers than I do. And it's a legal issue. And let's just say Meredith assaulted her. Didn't she say that?
Accosted her.
Accosted her. So I guess that doesn't mean hands on her. That would just mean screaming at her,
verbally.
which we already know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people were screaming like they were getting scoop into scoop because I don't think they were like, she was just saying, we know she hates Meredith.
I think it was just the fact that they liked that she was going so hard on Meredith and Lisa and calling her every name in the book.
Yeah.
That was what, I mean, she was lit and she was filling that crowd.
Well, now that it's all out, when I went to the white party that Kyle threw, where it was part of their Ultimate Girls Trip tour.
Yeah.
So they had like all the housewives there. And Whitney looked beautiful and she's very nice. And we were talking, and across the way was Meredith and Lisa. And she was no way talking to them. Yeah. And then Bronwyn shows up and they're good and they're talking. And I'm standing there, and I didn't share this because I thought I'm not going to be invited to these parties unless I tell. But now that you're talking about it on a brunch, I'll tell you. So then we're standing there because I did like mention it, and then someone's like, "You never told on Patreon," and I was like, "Well, I don't want to like ruin the plot." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck that." Anyway, so I'm standing there, and Giselle comes over, and she and Whitney know each other well from the
Ultimate Girls Trip,
Thailand or wherever they went, and Lisa Barlow is on this current thing that they're filming. She's representing Salt Lake. And they took that moment to really let Giselle know, you better watch out for Lisa Barlow. And, everything she said on the stage, she says there. And that, she's a liar and she will take something that you tell her and use it against you. And, all the things that they think they're doing behind the scenes as far as social media related and giving info to a third party and all of that. So, they stayed on either ends of this party. And then what she says here is like, and I might get fired. And I'm like, what are you doing, girl? Don't throw that shit around.
Yeah.
You just lost your life savings on an MLM that now you have good opportunity coming back with this business. Trust me, you do not want to get fired from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You are not going to sell more lip tint when you are a former housewife versus being on the show.
Yeah, where's Monica Garcia? I'm sure she'll get fined. I don't think she'll get fired, but
I think she'll only get a strict talking to.
Oh,
because
they know she can't afford a fine.
I don't think she'll get in trouble that much in trouble, because it's just going to make people want to watch it when they come back.
Yeah.
But I think she'll get a strict talking to, and I think they'll say you can no longer do live events, brunches, dinners, whatever.
Yeah.
You can no longer do live events on stage, whether it's, whoever's hosting it. It's not the drag queen's fault. That's
why they stopped letting them all do live podcasts. I'm surprised that they even let them do these stupid drag brunches. I
don't think she asked. I mean, I think.
Well, because she's an ally. She needs to support the community. Yes. Remember, she did her gay tour.
Well, I think that what it is that it's like the rules don't apply to everybody, and that's what they get mad about.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens is when they are new, they're so scared. They're like, okay, I'll make sure that I don't even do my mother's podcast without making sure that Bravo approves it and everything. And then after a while, they're like, I'm going to do what I want. Then they do it. And if they behave and they're fine, then Bravo's not on their ass. And then when they start doing this, then they get a strict talking to, and they're like, okay, now you can't do that. Or they have been fined. I do know housewives that have bet that in the contract you get fined if you write something nasty in social media, and then you get fined for that, which is crazy.
Well, Rinna said she got fined, $50,000 in her book?
$50,000.
That's crazy. Well,
when I feel like it all feeds each other, and I'm like, unless you're going to do what Australia does and takes the social media stuff from the reality stars while they're performing, and you're posting and like protecting them in that way, because before they used to have to write the blogs. Yeah. And the blogs were approved. Yeah. And they knew, and then everyone would read each other's blogs, and that's what they would be fighting about on the reunion.
Yeah.
Now it's, I heard what you said at the drag brunch. I heard what you said on Watch What Happens Live. I heard what you said on the podcast. I heard what you said at BravoCon.
Yeah, I feel like Bravo really fumbles the ball with that, though, because they try to gatekeep everything and prevent them from, like, this is a great moment. That's going to lead to a great moment on the show.
Right.
It's gonna cause a fight.
I
It's
totally
gonna cause
agree.
Like, this is what Hulu does really well with, like, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives,
Yeah.
is they lean into it. Like, Bravo gets so fucking stupid with this shit sometimes, and it pisses me off because I remember at the very beginning, like, my podcast drove so many fights and storylines. I mean,
Yeah.
Ariana versus Lala came from my podcast. Lindsay versus Hannah Berner came from my podcast. Like, so many. Lisa, Rinna, and Kathy came from my podcast. Like, so many of those, and my clips have been played on the show. And then eventually Bravo was like, no, we don't like that. And so they started gatekeeping everything and preventing people from doing interviews and stuff. And then it just kind of screwed up the whole game. Whereas, like, Hulu has leaned into these women being TikTok stars and, like, allows that to unfold organically. I mean, they could be a little quicker about getting the seasons out, but, like, they've embraced it because at some point the worlds are going to merge, and rather than Bravo, like, okay, like, you really think Alex Baskin getting the exclusive with his Bravo podcast is really going to do, like, Watch What Happens Live and Alex Baskin's podcast are now, like, gatekeeping those interviews. And look at, like, his interview with Jax. Like, what if, like, the audience hated that because he, like, gave Jax a pass for doing drugs on Vanderpump Rules, and, like, the audience sees through that shit.
And also, you know what? I'm going to take back also the feeling that I had when Katie and Tamara and whoever leaked all that was happening in the OC, because it didn't make us watch it any less.
No.
So at this point, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let them freaking run wild, talk where they want to talk, promote their stuff. They got to make the most money they can make while they're in this position. And their job is to be on the show, but their job is being on a show and doing podcasts and doing videos and doing interview shows. And so if they're going to be, snarky on Watch What Happens Live, and he always is putting them in a position to say horrible shit about each other. And, and they don't like it when you take the fifth every time. So then it's like, when they can do a long hour podcast with someone and actually, maybe there'll be some little snarky storyline, but maybe there'll be also something really interesting that was like, wow, I didn't know that you were a registered nurse. Like, that's, oh my God, I really like you now. Like, by doing that,
You're
so
talking
many.
about Anna Marie.
No, well, I mean, I'm just bringing up anything because I always been doing it, a long time too. So I would always have a new housewife kind of come and get their whole life story, which I still like to do. Now I kind of like, well, if there's an interest there, I still like it because what I love is when people were like, I never liked this person, and now I heard them on the show and I like them because we talked for an hour and 20 minutes. But, I thought it was funny. And, of course she got boozy and she said, I'm never going to drink when I'm on stage again, because she got real buzzed at the BravoCon.
Yeah.
And then she's also, sitting there throughout the season concerned about Meredith's drinking.
Yep.
And I mean, of course I don't blame her. They get nervous.
I just love her with her glass.
A lot of housewives do live shows before, and because they're not live performers, especially in the beginning, now they have a lot more confidence after doing BravoCon and stuff. They get real nervous.
Yeah. And,
so they
drink.
do kind of overdrink because they're scared, and that can lead to problems. And I have been at a live show of my own that led to some real problems. But, anyway, then they have their own show and they have to do it. But I like her skirt, and we'll see. That's what I don't think much is going to happen, though.
No, give me more of these drag brunches, though. I want them to.
Yeah, they're going to keep them all. Yeah, I love it. It's great. Okay, let's talk about the Traitors. So if you are not watching it, it won't matter because today is the finale and the reunion. So I don't really care if you want to skip like 5 minutes, but we're going to talk about it right now. So I'm all caught up.
Okay.
And I really do like, I've talked about the Traitors before the show. I really do like it. It does, for something that when it first started, I was like, so you're a traitor, you're faithful? Like, that's the whole game of just wondering who's lying? Is there really enough to this? But they do such great things with the casting, and they do switch it up every season.
Yeah.
So what the rules that applied last season don't apply this season per se. And I mean, it is fun. Quince is all about elevated essentials that feel effortless, designed for layering and mixing. Each piece helps build a timeless wardrobe made to last with versatile silhouettes and thoughtful details. They're the kind of styles you wear again and again. I love my white linen blazer. It just goes perfectly with everything from shorts to jeans, sundress, and I wear it throughout the year because it's that stylish. The quality is there and it lasts season after season. And I think that's so important. Quince uses the highest quality materials like 100% European linen and organic cotton. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/juicy for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/juicy to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/juicy. So I was at a lunch the other day with a bunch of women that I was meeting for the first time, and one person was not ordering a lot, and she was on the GLP-1s, which of course started the conversation. How do you get it? Does your insurance pay? How do you keep it going? When are you supposed to get off of it? How much do you take of it? So I recommended to her RHOBH. RHOBH offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. And the new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredients as the shot and packs comparable results to the shot. That's one daily pill for fewer cravings and feeling fuller with an innovative new formula clinically proven to maximize weight loss. Go to ro.co/juicy scoop to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/juicy scoop to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications.
It's a good season, too. It's a good cast. I mean, I don't love the faithful that are left on the show, but like the cast itself was good. Like Lisa Rinna was great on the show.
Yes.
Candace, great on the show. Portia, great. Like the Housewives came and they delivered a lot. I actually think Rob is a brilliant traitor. He's made it all the way to the end.
He made it all the way to the end. And I do think it's really interesting where then they like turn it on people and they're like, you know, he's a traitor and he's like says to the other girl, no, I just think it's weird that you were like cold to me today. Like just starting it up. And it's just so, I mean, I just saw a video of someone going, I rented he invited 20 of his friends and they had like a Traitors weekend and like on, you know, some whatever place. And I thought, oh my God. And they were like they're doing the tape, kicking people out and who is it going to be? And I think it's, I have a whole idea for a show. I'm going to just come to my Patreon. It's too risky to say it here, but I have an idea for a show that's like a Traitors. But, when we left off, I love that the two skating.
Johnny and Tara.
Oh, and I thought that was so brilliant. Now, would you have tried to split them up and kill one or keep them together to make everyone think that they're the final two traitors?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Only because I think they're so dumb that like, I mean, and I'm enjoying their friendship, but they're so bad at this game. I don't think anybody thinks that they're actually traitors, though. There's no way. Like, it would be way too obvious for them to be that close, that friendly, and for them to be the two traitors. Like, It's too on the nose that I don't think anybody realistically believes that they're traitors at this point, or maybe one of them. But I think the only reason to break them up is to break up their alliance. But I don't know if their alliance is even strong. Like, it's just the two of them, and they're just holding on for dear life, praying they make it to the end.
I mean, it really is just a game of like lying and being a good actor.
Yeah.
And so it is fun. So who do you think, what's your prediction? Because this is going to air this morning and then people listen.
Yeah.
So you have a chance of getting it correct.
I think the traitors are going to win. I don't see the faithful winning.
Okay.
I don't know if the traitors are going to, I think Rob, it's hard because now Rob has a lot of like heat on him. But the thing is, there are two traitors. There's Eric and Rob. And are the faithful really going to be able to?
So in the end, there'll be the two of them, and then there'll be like four faithfuls left.
Three faithful left because it's Tara, Johnny, and then Mark and Mara. One of them has to get killed, so it's three faithful.
We don't know who
and
they're
two.
gonna kill.
We don't know who they're gonna murder yet. So there's
I think they're gonna murder Johnny.
interesting.
I think they're gonna murder Johnny because the girl is a waste, and so is the other guy.
It would be a waste. They need Mark because Mark is at least on Rob. Mark and Mara are totally on Rob's side. Like they're fully buying into the fact that they think he's a faithful, and everyone seems to be on Eric. So I could see Rob turning on Eric in the end.
Definitely could see Rob turning on Eric.
I mean, he turned on Rinna and Candace so easily.
I could definitely see him turning on him. And I also feel like he's someone who like really wants the money too and needs the money. So he doesn't fucking care.
No. And I could see him going all the way to the end.
Yeah. He is good to look at.
Yeah.
And I love
him
like
and his overalls. I love his overalls.
And I love all their fun outfits. Like that makes it fun.
Yeah. Mora's wig is a little intense, but yeah.
Yeah, why does she wear wigs and berets all day? And like different ones.
But they're so big. Like it's so obviously a wig.
Her face is so perfect. She's just absolutely got the most gorgeous face. Yeah. Where did she come from? A Love Island or something?
I think so.
A Love is Blind? I didn't know.
No, I think Love Island.
Well, she's
but like a UK Love Island. It's some dating show.
I don't know. That girl's stunning.
Yeah.
But
she looks great.
Yeah. Okay, so Lisa Rinna was on the show and she, had a great moment. I'm the most iconic Tourette. And so TMZ has an exclusive saying that she was allegedly roofied at the Traitors premiere party. And I was like, I know you have a book coming out, and I'm not saying this didn't happen, but it's just weird. And why it doesn't look good to the producers.
No.
It doesn't look good that this is happening at Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
And that it's her, of all the people to roofie.
Yeah.
Is this a real story? Like, is this a BS story? This seems so strange.
I think it's a BS story. She probably got a little lit that night. Because I remember seeing like social media clips of them watching the show. And she didn't seem, maybe she was a little tipsy, but she didn't seem like she was an issue because in those same social media clips, you're seeing her react to being when they revealed that she's the traitor in the first episode.
Yeah.
But to me, this felt more of like a leak from Colton's team because they know the reunion's coming up.
Because he said, I was with her all night.
I took care of her. I
could tell that she had only had a little to drink and she wasn't herself. And
I immediately told her team and I made sure that they took her out of there right away. Like, it was just way
I totally agree because he's still coming off us being reminded that he was absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
When he was still in the closet and had a fiance and didn't know what he was going to do, he made that girl's life hell, Cassie.
Yeah.
And in every way. And so, yes, now he wants to create an image of I love women, I protect women.
Yeah.
I'm the gay best friend that you want to bring to the gay bar.
Yeah, because I'll make sure you don't get roofied.
Yeah.
Because I have a tracker on you and I'll see where you go. No, it seemed like such a clear leak from his team because they know he gets obliterated at the reunion. They know that like they come gunning for him. And so they're trying to, preemptively.
But maybe they won't come gunning for him at the reunion.
They do.
Oh, we know that.
They do, yeah. Even Rinna, well, I don't know what gets aired, but they do. He like walks off. I've heard he walks off stage and they had to like get him to come back out and make sure nobody talked about Cassie and like it was a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think his team knows that. So they're trying to, plant these stories while also riding off the coattails of Rinna's book tour right now.
Yeah. Which is great timing.
Yeah, because she just did an event at Barnes and Noble, and she talked about how she kind of brings up the stalker situation at the reunion, and then Colton unfollowed her.
Let's talk about it. What happened with Cassie and a thing called a tracker? Do you know that they can do that, you guys? Yeah, we do know, Lisa. Why are you talking about that? Oof, you're so angry. I just want her to say to Colton, oof. You're so angry. That would be amazing. Yes. So her book is out, and TMZ came up with this today. Lisa Rinna addresses rumors about husband Harry Hamlin is gay. And then it says Lisa Rinna finally addresses the rumors. Finally, well, she was on Juicy Scoop, and I believe 2016, maybe it was 2017. I think it was 16, and we talked about it. And I said to her then, "Don't you think those rumors existed?" Because he was in a movie, which I can remember every Juicy movie. I probably saw this when I was 10. And it was her husband was a young actor at the time. And he played a guy where he is the lover to so there's a man and woman couple.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the lover. I don't know what. But it was basically they were a couple and the husband starts to go to the gym and be attracted. They literally, there's a scene, like a gym scene, where the married to a woman is getting attracted to the other guy. And they end up being lovers. And the wife ends up being really accepting of it. And it was just it was a good movie to come out at the time.
Yeah.
Because this has always been happening. Just, I just went on a tour of Palm Springs and I thought about all the people that were leaving their wives for a weekend to write a movie script in Palm Springs in 1955. But anyway, but in it, there were sexual acting scenes between Harry Hamlin and this guy.
Yeah.
And I know that's where people thought, oh, he must be gay. And I said, do you think that's what it is? And she's like, yes, that is exactly where it came from. But
there's a whole backstory of him having a boyfriend and living in Canada. Isn't that a whole, isn't that the rumor that he has a secret lover in Canada and he goes back and forth?
On my thing, we just addressed the fact that he chose to take this role, which, a lot of people would have turned down.
Yeah.
Especially back then. I mean, it was literally late 70s when he played this part. But that's the rumor, is that he has
a secret lover in Canada and he flies back and forth to go be with the lover in Canada and then to be with Lisa here in
I'm going to say I think that's a lie.
I don't think it's true, but I know that was the rumor.
I think that's a total lie, and I think that's one that anyone could make. There's one thing about Real Housewife fans is nothing makes them happier than to think that your marriage is crumbling, is fake, that your husband's cheating on you, or that your husband's gay.
Yeah. Because
they are already jealous that you're living this fabulous life that they're watching from their couch. And, the fact that she's been married to him for so long is a huge success, especially in entertainment, but in any world, and that she's thin and gorgeous and can dance around at her age. And so, somebody probably just think, and you know what? When you've been married that long and you're actors and stuff, some people can go weeks without seeing their husband. And it doesn't mean that they're not good.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they want to marry anybody else or fuck anyone else. Also, you know what? I hate to break it to you, though. People get older and they don't need to have that much sex as they did when they were 24.
Yeah.
So
I don't think they have a bad relationship. I don't believe he has a secret lover in Canada. But I don't even think she really addresses it in the book other than saying he's heterosexual. And that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
So, I would love for her to get into some of
She always said the thing, let's talk about the husband. I don't know if she gets into that, but from what I remember her saying, and I think she was on my show before that scene happened, the famous scene. I think she knew to turn it up.
Yeah.
She knew to turn it up at all the occasions. So if something pissed her off, turn it up for the cameras. I think they're taught that by producers. Hey, you wouldn't do this at the PTA meeting or at your sister's baby shower, but you're going to do it at this dinner party when there's 12 cameras around you and you're getting paid. If something pisses you off, take your emotions to a level that you wouldn't normally, because we're making TV.
Yeah, well, I don't even think they need to tell you that. I think when a camera's on you, you just feel pressure to deliver.
Right.
And then she said that the producers knew, because she said that they ask you all these questions and they try to find your buttons. And so she's like, I'm pretty sure they told Kim to say that, knowing that it would provoke me, knowing that we hadn't eaten, we had just traveled into Amsterdam. Like, it was the perfect start. They knew what they were doing. They got Kim riled up. They knew what button to have Kim push, and Kim followed her orders and got Rinna to snap.
Yeah. Well, good.
And it was a great moment. One of the best moments in
Is there anything else
Housewives.
Juicy from the book?
Not that I've read so far. I mean, she talks about like Andy publishing her text messages.
They all get mad about that.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
I will say she
Not
goes
be on the
hard
show?
at Andy and Bravo.
Oh,
in the
she
book.
does?
She
Okay.
goes hard. I was surprised at how hard she went, because I'm like, don't you want to like
what
maintain?
What does she say?
Nothing. She just like, you know, talks about how they exploit the women and how they use them, and how, you know, she didn't feel like they had her back after she lost her mom in that last season, and she was getting all these like terrible messages online, and the network didn't have her back. And
It's interesting because I just saw her do another interview where she said, my mom had passed, and then she had to fly to Mexico to film the show.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 days later. And yeah, she's like, I could have said, I need a break. But I am a worker bee, which she is, and she's thirsty, and she doesn't want to miss being on camera, and she knows how it works. Like, who knows what story could break when you're not there, so you want to be there.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I know my mom would have been like, yeah, of course, go do it. Don't miss this. Any
Yeah.
parent would say that to their kid, and no parent's going to be like, oh, when I die, I want you to like, you know, sit in your room for a year. Of course not. So. It's interesting that in the book, though, she's kind of like saying, like, I didn't have to get the grace that I should have gotten.
Yeah, she does tell that story in the book, and she did make it seem like the show couldn't go on without her, is what she says. Is like the producers knew that the other women wouldn't deliver on filming, and so she had to show up to bring something, to bring the drama, because the show wouldn't be able to, the ladies wouldn't be able to carry it without her. And she says that she shouldn't have gone on the trip to Mexico, but she also kind of felt pressured to. Whereas
Which one was that?
I don't remember them going. She said there was a fight between Sutton and Crystal, and that's what she talks. But the Sutton and Crystal fight, I felt like, wasn't that like in a cabin? Like,
yeah, maybe there was a second fight.
Maybe
On a
because
boat
I don't
or
remember
something.
them. I don't remember a Mexico trip.
Yeah.
Not one that like Crystal and Sutton were a part of. But yeah, she says that she shouldn't have gone, but she also felt pressure to go, and you know that the network could have been better about like telling her, don't worry about not coming, like it's okay. But they didn't. They like wanted her to go, even though it had only been like 3 days since her mom passed.
Yeah. Well, nothing else.
I mean,
So
I haven't
far?
gotten that far into it yet, but
Okay.
she gets a lot of the housewife stuff done up front.
So trust me, when I started this podcast, the first year I never made more than $250 a month. You know, I didn't know how to really promote it, how to market it. So I know what it's like to start your own thing and have a lot of starts and stops. And that's why I want to tell you about Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Skims to brands just getting started. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. It's time to turn those what ifs into... With Shopify today, sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/juicy. Go to shopify.com/juicy. That's shopify.com/juicy. Guys, I am so in love with Olipop. This is my favorite flavor. It's Shirley Temple. It only has 50 calories. It makes having a treat so special. Like when I don't want to just have water with my lunch and I want something better, this is why I love Olipop. Olipop is a new kind of soda that combines the classic soda taste with the benefits of a functional ingredient blend to support digestive health. Olipop is reimagining soda with high fiber and low sugar. They are launching their new limited edition flavor, Shirley Temple. Get a free can of Olipop. Buy any 2 cans of Olipop in-store and we'll pay you back for one. Works on any flavor, any retailer. Go to drinkolipop.com/juicy scoop. Olipop is sold online, drinkolipop.com and Amazon, and available in the soda aisle and with the chilled beverages at thousands of retailers nationwide, including Walmart and Target. We all love having great hair, but sometimes through life, your hair changes. Maybe it hasn't been the same since you gave birth. Maybe it's changing as you age. Maybe you've had a weight loss and you feel like your hair started to shed a little bit and it's not the shiny bounce that you once had. That's why Nutrafol is so important. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, and it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women tailored to different life stages like postpartum or menopause and lifestyle factors such as plant-based diet. So you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track. Plus, with a Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20% and get added perks to support your hair health journey. Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our Juicy Scoopers $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code JuicyScoop. That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code JuicyScoop. I just want to follow up on one thing about the Olympics. I said the girls' hockey team. I meant to say the women's. That was a big problem.
Yeah.
And then also this... Jack, this is a weird matrix type. What universe, which dimension are we in? So you guys know that Jack Hughes was the kid. See, I didn't say that. He's a 24-year-old man, hockey player. He got the winning shot right before a hockey stick hit him in the face and he lost his teeth. So he won the winning in overtime goal. In the movie, The Miracle, which is based on the true story of when we won last time, which was 46 years ago, there's a scene in the movie, someone was rewatching it, and they're going through who's going to make the cut on the team. And the last person to be cut and not make the team in real life was named Jack Hughes. So then 46 years later, Jack Hughes wins the winning goal. They are not related. It just happened to have worked out that way.
What are the odds of that?
Glitch
in the Matrix?
Thanks to TikTok.
Yeah.
There are so many weird glitches or whatever you want to call it, or coincidences, or putting it out in the universe and somehow it comes back. It doesn't scare me. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But last week I talked about how the thing where you remember that the Monopoly guy had the monocle. That whole thing. What's the
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect. That's whole one thing. And then there's this other one where it's just oh, wait, isn't that strange? And it happens a lot in movies.
Shazam.
Yeah, where you look into, what's the Shazam thing? That there was no Shazam movie, or it wasn't with Shaq. It was with someone else.
Yeah. Who's the guy? It's not Shaq. It wasn't Shaq.
The whole Shazam thing is really weird.
About how the movie existed and the guy was in it, but then it didn't really exist and everyone remembers that he was in it.
It was just an ad or something, but it never was a real movie.
Yeah.
And then someone's
I think it's stuff like this. There are these glitches in the Matrix, and then it ends up being a Mandela effect. We go on different timelines, and then sometimes the timelines merge. Did you see We Broke Space?
When?
I don't know when it happened, but there was a story.
When the Epstein files dropped?
When the Epstein files dropped. There was a big fracture in space. They took a picture of it, and there's somebody cracked space.
Wait, do you know what I've been searching for things recently? Were you aware that in January of 2024, there was this weird alien thing that happened at the Miami Mall?
Oh, yes.
How did I miss that?
Because they wanted us to miss it. Okay. So apparently it has something to do with Antarctica. And I guess in Antarctica is where the aliens like live on Earth. And something about how the coordinates of that mall were similar to the coordinates of Antarctica.
They turned around. They were turned around. It would have been the exact spot.
Yes.
And so these people were at the Miami Mall.
Yeah.
Everybody was. It was January. And what the accounts were, though no one has it really on their phone.
Yeah.
And of course with AI and everything, who knows? But that they looked like 9 to 10 feet, like black figures, but they were like not touchable. They were like glitching.
Yeah.
And then all these cops came and they said, oh, it's because teenagers got in a fight.
Yeah.
And then supposedly, allegedly, whatever, is if they did have anything on their phone, it just disappears.
Yeah. The aliens erased it. Yeah, and then the whole theory is they were supposed to go to Antarctica, which is where the alien headquarters on Earth is, but then the coordinates got wrong, so they accidentally went to the Miami Mall, and then nobody was supposed to see that, and so now it's been like scrubbed. Yeah.
But it's with all those things, and you're like, well, there's got to be somebody that lives in Miami that knows somebody that was at that mall that day.
Yeah. They're in a bunker somewhere. They're hiding off the grid.
So it is very weird. And then, of course, they're going to release the UFO files now. Just.
Are we going to get a binder of that too?
Yeah.
We're going to get Jessica Krause from House and Habit walking out with her binder of the aliens.
That'll be the new thing. And I'm just like, whatever.
I mean, at this point, like, I'm so desensitized. I'm like, what? Okay, we have aliens. Got it.
Yeah,
all right.
We go. I love TJ, love lady with the babies, and this one is Tyra. He did the whole Tyra thing, and this Tyra just looks just like her. I mean, it's just amazing what they can do on AI. Anyway, that was really cute. And but she's trying to build this ice cream empire.
Gross.
Which is hot ice cream.
Gross.
Because she says, I want to have a legacy, and I want my legacy, I guess, to be Ben and Jerry's, whatever. It's hot ice cream. And she said, so many ice cream stores cannot do well in the winter. So that is why she created hot ice cream. So I remember being little and you'd get ice cream, right? And then my sister and I would stir it up, and then we'd be like, it's soup.
Yeah.
So isn't that what it is?
No, it's hot ice cream. It's not like melted room temperature or like kind of cold, like melted ice cream. It's like hot chocolate.
So it's basically, and then it's just hot chocolate
She
or like
says
a
it's
mousse.
not hot chocolate though. It's like a warm mousse. Which just sounds gross. There's nothing about hot ice cream makes me want to be like, ooh, that sounds delicious. Like I want to eat Tyra Banks's hot ice cream. Like that just all sounds gross.
I think, I also think something that's
it's like custard, right?
I also just think something in like a sweet, bad for you food thing is just not the way to go for longevity.
No.
Like I wouldn't, if I was going to get any kind of food thing, I would want like a carbless bread.
Yeah.
I would want, high protein, whatever. A dessert that has like protein that's good for you. Like the last thing I'd be doing is like, look at where not Susie cakes, but what was the cupcakes that just went under?
Oh, sprinkles.
Yeah. Like I just know that just stuff is like not, anyway. She got in a big argument, and Tyra Banks is seeking more than $50,000 in sanctions against her ex-partner in the ice cream company. I guess a landline. I didn't even bother to look it up because I just didn't care. But like, there you go. What did you think of the show? Did she take accountability? Did she not?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I watched it and I was like, wow, it's very obvious that this entire docu-series or whatever was like designed to like make Tyra look bad. And not that Tyra was good. She looked bad and she was bad at that time. But like that was reality TV at that time. And you know what? All of us were sitting there watching her being like, call her fat, do this, her teeth, her hair. Like, we wanted to see her make the girl shave their head and cry. Like, we were watching it and eating popcorn and being like, yes. And now all of a sudden, everybody on their moral high horse wants to be like, oh, that was so. All of those reality shows were awful. Remember Celebrity Rehab with Gary Busey, and they're like having seizures and like.
Let me tell you, there's my Celebrity Rehab story. Chelsea Lately had just begun. I swear to God, it was like our 4th episode. And Dr. Drew was on there along with this other comedian. I can't remember her name. But anyway, afterwards, he goes, I have to show you. And he had like his computer out. The show that I'm going to be on. I can't believe this is going to be on TV.
Yeah.
I'm helping celebrities that are drug addicted and we're going through the process of it.
Yeah.
And so even then he was like, I cannot believe we're doing this.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that they said yes to this. So yeah, it's like, I said that the other day. I'm like, it's going to be Rock of Love. It's going to be Flavor Flav.
Flavor of Love.
They're just going to do those and, let's examine how bad we were 20 years ago. But I thought this was pretty interesting. So Kelly Catrone, who also had her own reality show where she was just a PR person. I didn't watch this one seriously, but it was just like she ran a PR company and she was just like a bitch.
Yeah.
She had a bitchy face. She was a bitch. She was harsh.
Still has a bitchy face.
And she says, side note, Jay, meaning Jay Manuel, in the fashion industry, he worked at a MAC makeup counter in Toronto. Tyra boosted him, and how did he repay her here? By writing a novel about her and the show, which no one bought. And now he is trying to become relevant by being out there trashing her again. Maybe he will get a deal as a spokesperson for spray tanning or filler. Well, the cheeks were kind of alarming.
They were a lot.
He was so incredibly rude to me my first day on the show. He came up to me and said, welcome to the show. You are in the ejector seat, meaning anyone who sat in that seat, Andre, etc., was fired. Oddly enough, he was something at the end of the season. That's what he did at the end of the season. So I talked about this too with Brandy and Julian. Some people thought I was like defending Tyra. I just didn't feel sorry for him.
No. Well, I didn't feel sorry for any of them because I bought into it when I watched the documentary and I was like, oh my God, Tyra's a bitch. And listen, she's like a lot, right? Like these were 3 dudes that were loyal to her because she was like the boss on the show. And then, she completely discarded them the second they got fired. And like Miss J and the stroke thing, like, yeah, I feel bad for all of that. But at the same time, if you go back and rewatch their scenes on the show, they were just as bad. Like, and why aren't we calling out Janice Dickens, who was like the worst and the most ruthless on that show? And we covered it for like 20 seconds in the documentary and then just glossed over Janice and like made Tyra, the tyrant on that show. And granted, yes, she was the boss. It was her show. But they were all complicit in that culture.
I mean, it is really funny when people are like, when, they all got picked. And I remember I said this too. None of them were pretty. Like I was like, oh, is that the whole thing? Is like, we're just going to take a skinny person with a sad story and like try to make them cute. I don't know. Yeah. But they'd come out there and then there's a trend going on, or maybe it's not a trend, but maybe a few people had the same funny idea where it's like, so a guy's like holding a rotisserie chicken. He's like, after trying to get on America's Next Top Model by saying my grandmother died on a chicken bone, now I'm modeling with a rotisserie chicken. And I'm like, that is so funny.
It is.
But
it's why we loved Simon Cowell on American Idol. Like people loved that the harshness, right? And that's what we tuned in to watch. Was it great? No, we look back and then we're like, oh my God, that was terrible. But also, America's Next Top Model was on the show for many, many years.
But that's what it is. But like, yeah, it's entertainment. It's being harsh. It's saying
but
like
when you signed up for those shows, you knew what you were signing up for, and you kind of knew that was your cross to bear. Like you just knew I can get edited good. Like Housewives now. Trust me, 20 years from now, we're going to have a documentary series about Real Housewives. It's not going to be
20. It's going to be like 2.5 years from now.
And Andy Cohen's the worst. And the Housewives they didn't know any better. And even though, Crystal Minkoff signed on 20 years into it, she was still accosted on TV. Like, it's going to be that type of bullshit. It's like, we all, know what you're signing up for at this point. You know that it's not going to be, and you just are hoping that at some point, it pays off for you in the end.
Right. You sign up for this show and you're going to get divorced.
Yeah.
You're going to get divorced. And it's like, which year will that be?
Yeah. Or you're Bron when you go in with the plan,
Yeah, exactly.
Erica Jane, you go in knowing you're going to get out.
Right. But I will say about Tyra, one thing I do remember is she had her show in LA and then she took it to New York.
Yeah.
And we had some people from that show that then worked on our show. And they did not have good things to say because they said, like, one thing, they were just really blindsided. But then I'm like, well, if the whole production is moving to New York, probably because of this show and stuff. Again, legally, like, are you supposed, maybe she was told not to give the staff a heads up. I mean, that's all like a legal thing. But the other thing I always remember is that at Christmas time, the story that was told to me, whether it's true or not, I don't know, that for their bonus Christmas treat, she gave $5 gift cards to iTunes.
What?
That was it.
Not even 10?
Not even 10.
Can't even get about an album with $5.
I remember $5 was what I remember in my head. Maybe it was 10, maybe it was even 25. But it was iTunes gift cards. And then her whole shtick was being cheap. Like, that was a big thing on the talk show, was like coupons and everything. So it did kind of track.
Yeah.
But I do think people that are thrifty and like a good deal doesn't mean that they're not generous as with their employees and tipping and everything. But there's a story. But I kind of like that. Okay, this is interesting. So this is Crystal Harris, who was at one time Crystal Hefner. She was Hugh Hefner's wife when he died. She was also in the magazines. And what's happened with her is a few years ago when she was still in there, at the house, she said she found like photos and stuff of girls that were naked, Polaroids and things. And she said, I ripped them up, and she let some people know that. Then she was writing her book, and she told the people on the board, I'm going to write my book about my life and the good and the bad. I just want you to know. And they're like, okay, fine. And then she heard from the people on the board that they want to take all these scrapbooks that Hef did, which he'd write about his conquests and the girls, and he had photos and all this stuff in these like scrapbooks, and the board wants to like release them in like a library or make them public. So she was proactive and got Gloria Allred, and they did a press conference about how, so she's protecting the women that she doesn't know that Hef did have sex with or whatever, and say this should not be released because some of them could be underage. And that was interesting. And then Holly Madison, who was also his girlfriend before, spoke about it and kind of mentioned it, but she doesn't say Crystal's name. She's like, oh, this woman is doing this. And she goes, which I find interesting because I believe I had a boyfriend who cheated on me, and I believe he filmed me and might put it out there. So I want to proactively like put it out there. And so
she always has a story, doesn't she?
Who, Holly?
Holly. Anytime she can like jump on the Playboy coattails, she has a new story about an unlocked trauma memory that came out from 20 years ago. Like, there's always something, a new diagnosis, I can't with Holly. I try. She's a sweet girl. She is. But like, there's always a story with her. And
then one of the diaries, one of the pieces of paper that you're in the scrapbook, I think, that Crystal shared was this little girl, and she sends her photo, and she's like 10 or something, and she wrote the letter, and I guess Hef saved it. And she was like, I love the girl next door. I want to be on that show. What do I have to do to get there and live there? And, then people are like, oh my God, again, this is was so horrible about this show.
Yeah.
Is that they made it look fun.
Yeah.
And they did. I mean, if you were 10,
yeah,
you were like, I want to live in a pink bedroom with my 3 best friends and go to Vegas with their grandpa. Like, they never made it clear that anyone during that show had to fuck him.
Yeah.
So, of course, some 10-year-old girl thinks that could be fun. Just like before that, people would look at their dad's Playboys and read with the girls' bubble writing, how they'd fill out the form of what their favorite things are. And you'd be like, it's such a glamorous life. I would do this.
Yeah,
like,
because you just think you're a pretty model. You live in this big house. There's a grotto and all these fancy parties.
And the outfits were so cute, the bunny outfits and all this kind of stuff. So I thought that was, so that's what is happening there. Now she's, but I mean, it shouldn't be out there. I mean, let us not forget that Brooke Shields was 10 and in the magazine when she was in Pretty Baby.
Yeah,
so weird when you look back at that stuff.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously they're going to try to capitalize off of half as much as they possibly can, but it's like at some point, like you have to reflect and be like, these are, women who have moved on, or even young girls that have moved on from that chapter of their life, that to have that come back out again, whether it's in a museum or to be released publicly, like they don't want to go through that again.
I know, it's awful. Why would they even think to do it? Okay, Britney is back. I guess she took a small break.
The Matrix released her.
It was real. It's really bad. It's really bad. She's spinning around. The house. Look at the hangers. It's just a rack. She's wearing a felt hat, cowboy boots. She's pulling down the skirt. She has a trench coat, makeup, hair. It's bad. It's really bad. I mean, I think she's on something for sure.
They wanted a free Britney, and there you go. There's a free Britney for you.
And I just feel like, then I came across this video where, again, someone did a whole AI thing, and she's singing, and it's amazing. Like, you don't really need to do anything anymore. Someone could put you in an outfit, have you dance around. You don't even have to leave the fucking house. I thought there were definitely AI commercials, that Dunkin' commercial and the Dunkin' Donuts commercial with all the Friends cast and everybody. And Ben, that was them when they were young in a Dunkin's commercial. I mean, they didn't even have to show up to do that Super Bowl commercial. Yeah.
It's crazy how AI is just, I mean, that's going to be the future. It's not going to be me and you here. It's going to be our AI avatars.
I think that, and then I think there's going to be like a revert back where like people are going to like not want to phone at all, want to meet in person, want to read real books.
It's going to reset, in time. It has to get really bad and really digital first. It has to be Wall-E. We have to be fat in the little things, just like big bulbs just going around everywhere before we decide
Who's
to take
Wall-E?
Wall-E, the Disney movie Wall-E about the future.
Oh,
and it takes place in the future, and all of the people, they're just like these big fat. And their avatars are like what they are, and they've just become. And they don't move, they don't do anything, so they're just like these big fat blobs in a chair that just kind of like goes. They don't even have to walk anywhere.
Ugh. Okay. All right. I want to also say, speaking of AI, I talked about this the other day. There was a video out where this guy thinks it's Ghislaine, and it really looked like her. Like he walked up on her, living her life in Quebec, living something normal. I, thank goodness, when I talked about it, said it could very well be AI, and if it's not, well, then it's pretty compelling, and this woman really looks like her. Well, it's come out, it was AI. And the original person that did it, his whole page is doing AI videos.
Yeah.
But then people pick it up and it gets 50,000 views or whatever. So then you don't know who the originator is.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God, is this real? But it wasn't. So I just wanted to say that. But one thing I did want to say about Ghislaine that people don't know is that she had this boyfriend. Because I read about it and I wanted to find more up. When everybody says she was at the Clintons' wedding, because there's a photo of her and they're walking down the aisle, she was her boyfriend's date.
Oh, so she wasn't invited.
She was the boyfriend's date. And his name is Ted Waite, Waitt. And they dated, let me see. They dated, he was the co-founder of Gateway Inc. They were in a romantic relationship for 7 years. It began around 2003 or 2004, shortly after her long-term association with Jeffrey Epstein had ended, according to Google. And so she was fully involved in his life, and he had a yacht called Plan B, which is also weird. And she helped acquire it and renovate it, this big fancy yacht. And that's where, people went on that yacht as friends of them as a couple. And it had a helipad and a submarine.
Wow.
And, on Epstein Island, there's that weird thing where there was like a hole in it where people could, and they're like, are people coming up from a submarine? So nobody knew that they were going there. Or they just had a submarine. So the relationship was described, that they got together. They separated in 2010. So from 2004 to around 2011, they were together, and the relationship ended due to a blackmail attempt by a Florida lawyer who threatened to name Maxwell in civil lawsuits against Epstein unless Ted Waite paid a large sum of money. That's what this is saying when I asked him what's the deal with their relationship. Waite resisted the blackmail, but the ordeal reportedly led to their split, and that's based on Yahoo Finance article. And then he married a model, and he doesn't want anything to do, and he never talks about Ghislaine or anything. But they had a full-on normal, billionaire girlfriend relationship, also with elites, hanging out on their yacht.
Eating babies.
Or pizza. Or grape
Domino's
soda.
pizza.
Or nothing.
Yeah.
Or maybe during that time, I don't know. Because I'm like, that's where the timeline, I'm really confused. There was the stuff that happened before he was convicted. Then there was the stuff that was after. Then there's this time that she was with him. Then they broke up in 2011. So then did she go back to working with Jeffrey Epstein? I know people listening know the answer to what I'm asking.
Yeah.
But it is just such an overwhelming thing. But I thought this part was kind of interesting that she was with this billionaire, and but there was something else, immediately, when she got arrested, he got rid of the submarine and got real quiet, and doesn't want anything to do with anything. So I don't know. There you go. Then this weird couple, this is from Julia Hub. These people bought the ranch in New Mexico that he ran the baby making farm at, allegedly. And they're going to turn it into some Christian thing. What? And I mean, I'm not saying there's a certain type of person that looks like they eat.
I mean, they look like they've eaten some baby back ribs in their day. That just looks so.
And there's some big billionaire donor Christian people. So who knows? Okay, the Tourette's thing is crazy. And you said you did not know about this. I can't believe I know about something you don't. Okay, so there was the BAFTAs award happened, and this guy, John Davidson, was there because his movie was being honored, and he has Tourette's, and the thing was about Tourette's, and he's an activist for Tourette's. While there were two black men on stage, Michael B. Jordan being one of them, about to give an award, from the audience, this man screamed out the N-word.
Oh, no.
More than once.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was like, well, then what? I found out they did ask him to. They
leave.
did not ask him. They did get him to leave. Watched it in another room. And there's just been major fallout from it, as you can imagine. A black jury member just quit over the organization's unforgivable way they handled the situation. So yeah, it's bad. It was, obviously horrible, but I'm sorry, say what you will about Tourette's. Don't you have to have the thought in your head in order for it to come out of your mouth?
Yeah, it's not just come on, two black men are on stage and suddenly it just comes out of your mouth.
I said it was out of a Larry David episode of Curb, and it really is. It's I'm sorry, it's beyond horrific.
It's
but
awful, yes.
It's also fucking funny. Are you fucking kidding me? You had a Tourette's
crazy.
person who did a movie about Tourette's, and we're supposed to be sympathetic to people who have Tourette's, and then you're on stage and this fucking asshole like screams that out. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I thought this was really funny. This guy, I am Sam Pez, said, when you're watching the new episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show and this person shows up, so there's...
Who is this?
I think it's so funny for people that watch Housewives, and they've done it on every franchise, where like they thought someone was going to pop or whatever, so they bring them to all the parties, but then they basically didn't.
Yeah.
And so they're just cutting around them like... Where you're like, wait, why is that person back in the corner of the room?
Like that old lady that they had at, what was it, Erica, and whose birthday was it? Erica and whose birthday was it? Dorit. And there was like that random old lady that was like friends with Bose that like was sitting next to her. I'm like, who is this lady? And why did we not comb her hair? Like, who let her on our screen? This one too. Who...
I also would imagine that if you are actually going to your friend's dinner party and like your friend is staying with you, you would kind of have to get approval from producers to be like, hey, do you mind if my sister comes to this dinner?
Yeah.
And they might be like, we kind of prefer that she not. Would it be okay if we just let you leave like 2 hours in? Or I don't know how they work it out, but I'm assuming it. But this girl, you know, she showed up at one of the parties and she had like a completely sheer outfit on, I think, to get like a reading or something. And they're like, I love it. And she's like, and you could tell she was really trying to get her story out. Like, I'm divorced. I like to fuck 25-year-olds. And everyone's like, yay. And I'm like,
it was so random. It was so weird. But like, cut around her. I don't need her on the after show. I don't even watch the after show, and I don't want her on the after show. Like, I don't even want to see her on my social media. Like, I don't have any more energy to invest in any more Housewives.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if there's something, maybe I would think they wouldn't have her on the after show if she doesn't start to grow. We both heard that Amanda then stops filming towards the end.
She said that's not true.
Oh, that's not true.
She's denied it. She came out and she said that's not true, and she's at the reunion.
Okay, well, I just was thinking maybe that was, and then maybe that's why then this girl shows up at other things. What's your opinion of the season?
It's not terrible. I actually, no, I'm enjoying, I like Dorit. I think she's bringing a lot. I mean, it's a bit much, but she's bringing a lot. And I like Rachel Zoe. I think she's really refreshing and vulnerable. Erica seems to be bringing it in the second half of the season. I mean, Sutton is like almost non-existent this season, but I don't mind that. I think she's taken like a lot of heat the last couple of seasons that, you know, you can kind of have a more tame season.
Right. And I think it's obvious, like, where they're like, Sutton not having vodka is, a different type of person. And again, you get these women that probably have always enjoyed drinking.
Yeah.
Now you have a double combo of your kids are older.
Yeah.
So you actually can drink like every night if you want.
Yeah.
And you're at social events where there's drinks. And now you're on TV, which is awkward. So you drink. So I do think she's had moments where she's probably regretted going for that, fourth drink.
I'm sure.
But
I mean, the season, it's not terrible. I really like Rachel Zoe.
Yeah.
I mean, the only ones I'm really that interested in are Rachel, Erica, Dorit, and Kyle.
Yeah.
Because those are the only ones I have any sort of emotional attachment to. I like Rachel Zoe. Amanda's annoying. I kept trying to like give her a shot, and she's so annoying. Bose, I feel like I'm kind of getting bored with her. Like, I liked her at first, and I liked her at the start of the season, and now I just kind of feel like she's not giving us much. Like, Rachel came in giving us a lot in her first season.
I mean, wouldn't we know by now, like, okay, so what the journey is? I guess, is she going to have more kids?
She wants to.
So then it's either a surrogate or whatever, which I think, I mean, I said in the beginning, I didn't really believe it. Obviously, it's true that she really wanted to have more kids with this guy. I do think it's weird that someone that is a marketing, quote unquote, self-proclaimed genius would think that this is a great marketing plan to have a child. Fine if you want to have another child, but why involve this guy? If you want to have one more chance at motherhood, by all means do it, but do it alone. And then if he's around, then great. Then you spend the rest of your life with him. But why would you involve, when you make the money and everything, why would you get in a position? I remember there was a Dave Chappelle sketch that was so funny when he had his show where the point of the sketch was he got Oprah pregnant.
Oh my.
So he was like, playing like an average dude. And he was like, I'm set for life. I'm going to get all this, I'm going to get all this child support and this kind of thing. I don't know. Like if you're so determined to go through all the process of, egg donating and IVF and all that stuff, then why wouldn't you get married to him? Because it's a bigger commitment to have the kid together than it is to get married.
Yeah, because once you have the kid, like you're stuck with this person forever. A marriage you can at least divorce and be done with.
Yeah.
Or in Sutton's
I don't
case,
know,
it gets
and I feel like people don't want to ask her about that. And like that's what I would be asking if I was there. I'd be like, let me ask you something. You've had all these positions, you've worked in all these different businesses, you've raised this daughter that's clearly, a delight and a great kid. You date this guy for under a year, and then you're like, and if I can't give him a kid, well, it might not last. Do you even want this? Like, it's just, I think it is weird at like 48.
I didn't even think about it until you brought it up. When your daughter's almost going
off to college, I think this isn't your husband. And maybe if you never had a kid, I think it's strange. And I'm going to say it. I still like her. I still think she's an asset to the show. But when they say you got to ask the tough questions and be involved, I do think people are scared to. I think they get on the phone and they're like, I cannot believe that she's doing this.
Yeah. Because, I did not even clock that until you brought it up. But it's right. It is really strange. Like, why not just marry him? And also, like, why do you want to have a kid now? Like, your daughter's grown. Like, why are you going to start over now with this guy while you're on a reality show? Like,
and I'm like, if you're giving such great advice and you've lived, anybody would say, hey, Bose, I get it. You want one more chance at motherhood, and if your body can carry the baby.
But it doesn't feel like she wants it more than she wants it for him. He wants it, and she's doing it for him.
And it'd be one thing if she was like, we've been together for 8 years. We've been trying for 8 years. Now we're going to go for a surrogate. Okay, that's one thing. Literally, it's from what I recall, it's like they met like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. It's a new relationship. Newer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
I think maybe she just kind of was like, this is what I think is going to happen. Don't think she's going to have any more kids. Surrogate or otherwise.
You think it's a Melissa Gorga, let me find my lost sister.
I don't think it's a storyline necessarily for the show. But I think it's something that she was like, you know what? I would like to have another kid. And this is something I could explore. And it's interesting. And if it were, and I think she's sad when it didn't work out. But I think when more time passes, she'll be like, you know what? It didn't work out for me, and it's not meant to be. And then I think next season we will not be talking about trying to get pregnant again. That's my opinion.
Probably. I can see that.
But I do enjoy her takes on the stuff. But if she's going to keep it real, this is not a great life plan.
No. And we need to get rid of this photo shoot. It's so ugly.
Oh my God, I totally feel opposite.
Really?
I think
it looks so tacky.
I think they all look gorgeous in these satin gowns and this like 1940s look. I actually think it's gorgeous.
I hate it. The only one I like is Rachel Zoe in this.
Yeah. I mean, she looks so good. When she showed up on America's Next Top Model before Botox was invented.
Yeah, that was rough.
I'm like, it's so crazy when you see someone like 23 years ago that had like wrinkles in their forehead and stuff, and they were like 36, and now they're like 58 and have completely smooth, more beautiful, full face.
Look at Kyle's face; she's in her 50s, and or
they're
Erica.
All in their 50s. They're all in their 50s, and
Erica
they all
looks
look great.
Yeah,
thank God for plastic surgery. It's like really amazing.
Unless you're Brandy Glanvin, your implants exploding.
Well, she did, yeah.
See, it wasn't a parasite in Morocco.
No, it wasn't. No, but they basically said, she's like, I did have a parasite, but I also had them leak and go up to my lymph nodes and meet the parasite. And then, but I'm glad she figured it out, and I'm glad she got some new boobs.
It only took her like 4 years.
This was kind of sad but funny. Blake Lively was at a fashion show, and the girl right here is the Grey's Anatomy girl.
Yeah.
And
Meredith?
And it just, the way this was shot just looked so
bad.
It looked bad, but also still sad. There's something still sad about a girl that's just like there by herself, and she's like, "Hi." Well, and the Grey's Anatomy, what is her name?
Meredith.
No, real Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I don't know her real name.
That actress, she's there with her husband who she's had forever, and somebody else. So she's like talking to them, and then it's just like this weird thing where like she sees her, and Blake's like smiling, like, "Can we engage in a conversation?" And she's like, and whoever got that, I was like, ah. Now I know that you have a PhD in Blake versus Justin Baldoni. Give us the cliff note of where we are at. We are waiting for the trial, which is going to be May
18th is when trial kicks off. They just had settlement negotiations, and shocker, they didn't settle. I didn't think that they would. I'd heard the terms that they were each asking. Like, well, they were like astronomical numbers.
So who was asking for what?
They were each asking for money, and then the one that stuck out to me was, I think she was asking for like them to go to like years of like HR training or like sexual harassment training. Like,
Blake was saying, "I want us both."
Like, so what I think happened?
Wait, she wanted Justin to go to years.
Him and his team, as part of their settlement, is we'll pay you this money, and we'll agree to go to all of these regular, HR meetings.
So she was offering to pay some.
Yes, but I think like I feel like it was like years, like 6 years of like, you have to go to HR training for like the next 6 years. And so I feel like they both made their asks so unrealistic that neither would be willing to buckle and fold, regardless of the money. The money didn't even seem that astronomical in terms of what they were asking for. But
what were they asking for? You can't say.
I'll tell you off.
Okay.
All
right.
Off mic. But yeah, to me, it kind of felt like they were both coming in and they were not planning on settling. Like, it was a formality. They had to do it. They had to like show the judge, like, look, we're trying to, we can't reach a settlement. We have to go to trial now. Like, they have to do the make nice ahead of time. But I didn't get the impression that either of them were willing to settle before the meeting, and then shocker, they left and they didn't reach any settlements. And then it was reported that she was playing mahjong while she was in it was 6 hours of settlement negotiations.
Have you ever played mahjong?
No.
I have.
Is it boring?
No, it's just, I can see why people get into it, but it's a lot. Okay, there's two, like, I went to Bunko. Now, Bunko's super easy. Bunko is just rolling dice.
Yeah.
Both involve drinking with ladies. So I like that. But the mahjong is like, you have this piece of paper with all these like Chinese symbols, and there's like 12 different patterns where it's like 3 flowers, 2 things, and so you go around, and there's a lot of rules, and I would think you'd have to play probably like 10 times to like kind of really get it. I've only half played 1.5 times. And then you line up your tiles.
Okay.
But I get why women like it, because it's cute and it's like matching, and you can still talk. But yeah, I mean, it's becoming a big thing. Like, not just it used to be just like old Jewish ladies do it. And now it's like everybody's doing it. And Blake Lively's doing it at the courthouse. So she brought a whole case.
She brought her $500.
It's like a case. It's like
No, she, I guess, had it in the car, and she had her chauffeur bring in. It was a $500.
Oh yeah, they're like
mahjong set.
Yeah, people can really go off and cute, and
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's all about it. Zach, you have so much going on, and people love you. So if they are not already following you, can you just tell them where to go?
Yeah, Zack Peter all over the internet. The podcast is No Filter with Zack Peter. Streams 5 days a week. All your favorite podcast platforms. You can watch it on you can watch it on YouTube and Spotify, where you can listen to it. And then, last summer we had all of Blake Lively's subpoena drama that was unfolding. And it was while I was on tour, and we were filming the behind the scenes of the tour. And so right now we're airing, it's called The Tour Tapes. It's 6 episodes behind the scenes of the Zactivated tour, but it also captures all of the subpoena drama because everybody that was coming into my different shows ended up getting subpoenaed along the way. So everybody was getting it was the whole subpoena gate drama that unfolds. And
they can watch that on your YouTube?
That's on YouTube and on Spotify.
Awesome. And thank you. And for me, remember you guys, please come see me. Just a few weeks away, March 20th and 21st at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, 6 and 8:30, 4 shows, all fun, new material, be talking to you, getting juicy, not giving a shit. Come and see me. Go get those tickets. And of course, Patreon too. Love you. Bye.